Here are both scripts, plain, no headings, pure flowing text. Script 01, short version, 30 to 45 seconds. Title: This Japanese morning habit burns fat naturally. Every single morning before they eat anything, before they check their phone, before they do anything else, millions of Japanese people follow the same simple routine. Warm water. Light stretching. A short walk. A small balanced breakfast with zero heavy sugar. No gym. No expensive supplements. No complicated program. Just a morning built around what your body actually needs to wake up and burn fat the right way. I tried it. The difference showed up faster than I expected. Full breakdown is right here, watch it before you have breakfast tomorrow. Script 02, long version, 10 to 15 minutes. Title: I tried Japan's morning fat-burning routine for 7 days, this is what nobody tells you. Every morning you wake up, your body has just completed an 8-hour fast. Your metabolism is sitting at its lowest point. Your cortisol is at its highest point of the day. Your digestive system is empty and waiting. And what most people do in that exact window, that critical first 30 to 60 minutes after waking, completely determines how their body burns or stores fat for the rest of the day. Most people grab their phone, drink cold water or nothing at all, skip breakfast or eat something loaded with sugar, and walk straight into their day wondering why their energy crashes by noon and why the weight never seems to move. Japanese people do something completely different. And the results are visible in their population-level health data. Less than 4% obesity rate. Among the longest average lifespans on the planet. One of the lowest rates of metabolic disease in the developed world. I stopped wondering about the statistics and decided to live the routine myself. For 7 days I followed the traditional Japanese morning habit exactly as it is practiced, no modifications, no shortcuts. What it did to my body and my energy levels across those 7 days is what this entire video is about. Stay with me because this is going to change how you think about your mornings. Before I walk you through what happened day by day, you need to understand exactly what this routine is and why each part of it exists. Because this is not a random collection of wellness trends. Every single element has a biological reason for being there, and understanding that reason is what makes you actually stick to it. The routine has 5 parts. Warm water first thing. Light stretching for 10 minutes. A 20 to 30 minute walk outside. A small light breakfast. And the complete elimination of heavy sugar in the morning. Let me break each one down. The warm water habit is called mizu wa nomu in Japanese culture, and it goes back centuries. The moment you wake up, your body is dehydrated from 8 hours without water. Your lymphatic system, your digestive system, and your metabolism all need water to activate. But warm water specifically does something cold water cannot. It raises your core body temperature slightly, which signals your metabolism to start moving. It also stimulates peristalsis, which is the muscular movement of your intestines, flushing your digestive tract and preparing it for the day. Cold water on an empty stomach actually constricts blood vessels and slows this process down. 1 glass of warm water, not hot, not cold, before anything else enters your body. That is step 1. The light stretching is not a workout. That distinction is important. This is not about burning calories through movement. It is about activating your parasympathetic nervous system, improving circulation, and lowering the cortisol spike that happens naturally in the first hour after waking. High cortisol in the morning is normal and necessary, it is what wakes you up. But if that cortisol stays elevated without being brought down gently, it promotes fat storage, especially around the abdomen. 10 minutes of slow, deliberate stretching, neck, shoulders, spine, hips, legs, brings cortisol down to a functional level and signals your body that it is safe to operate in fat-burning mode rather than stress mode. The walk is where the real metabolic magic happens, and most people underestimate it completely. A 20 to 30 minute walk at a comfortable pace in the morning, done before a heavy meal, keeps your body in a fasted state while still being physically active. In this state your insulin levels are low, your glycogen stores from the previous day are partially depleted, and your body is preferentially burning fat as fuel rather than glucose. This is called fasted cardio and it does not require a gym or running or anything intense. It just requires walking outside at a pace where you can hold a conversation. Sunlight during this walk also resets your circadian rhythm, boosts serotonin production, and regulates melatonin for better sleep that night. The walk is not exercise. The walk is metabolic activation. The light breakfast that follows is built on the same principle as the Japanese balance plate. A small portion of complex carbohydrates, usually rice or oats. A clean protein, eggs, fish, tofu, or miso. A vegetable or fermented food on the side. Green tea instead of coffee where possible. The point is to break the overnight fast with something that stabilizes blood sugar rather than spikes it. A spike in blood sugar first thing in the morning triggers a spike in insulin, which immediately puts your body into fat storage mode and guarantees an energy crash within 2 hours. A slow, stable breakfast keeps insulin low, keeps energy steady, and keeps your body in the mild fat-burning state the warm water, stretching, and walk already established. The elimination of heavy sugar in the morning is not just about avoiding obvious things like donuts or sugary cereal. It is about understanding that fruit juice, flavored yogurt, sweetened coffee, white bread, and most commercial breakfast foods cause the same insulin spike. The Japanese morning is deliberately designed to keep blood sugar flat in the first half of the day. When blood sugar stays flat, fat burning stays on. It is that direct. Day 1 I woke up at 6:30 a.m., drank a full glass of warm water before I looked at my phone, and felt immediately strange about how different that single change felt. I stretched for 10 minutes following a basic sequence and went for a 25-minute walk around my neighborhood before eating anything. Breakfast was miso soup, a small bowl of rice, 1 boiled egg, and green tea. No coffee. No sugar. No toast. And I sat at my desk by 8 a.m. feeling something I could not immediately name. Not energized exactly. Just clear. Like I had arrived at the morning instead of been dragged into it. Day 2 I woke up and my body already seemed to expect the warm water. I drank it, stretched, walked, ate the same style of breakfast. The walk on day 2 was when I noticed the air differently. I was outside before I had looked at a single screen and something about that felt genuinely unusual and genuinely good. No afternoon coffee that day. I got through to 4 p.m. on green tea and the energy from the morning held longer than I expected. Day 3 my clothes felt slightly different around my midsection when I got dressed. Not dramatically. But there was less of that tight waistband pressure that I had become completely used to. I stepped on the scale not expecting much, 0.6 kilograms down from day 1. I knew some of that was water and digestive clearing, but I also knew my body was responding. The morning walk on day 3 felt genuinely enjoyable for the first time. Not a discipline I was doing. Something I actually wanted to do. Day 4 I missed the walk. I woke up late and told myself I would do it tomorrow. And I noticed the difference immediately. By 11 a.m. I had that restless, slightly irritable, unfocused feeling that I now recognized as what happens when the morning is thrown off. I did the warm water, the stretching, and the clean breakfast, but the missing walk left a gap. I won't skip it again. Day 5 I got back on the full routine and the morning felt like it snapped back into place. I did my 25-minute walk, came home, made miso soup and rice and a soft boiled egg, sat down with green tea, and worked through to lunch without a single energy dip. My skin also looked noticeably better. Less dull. My partner noticed before I mentioned it. Better hydration from the morning water, better circulation from the walk, better sleep from the regulated circadian rhythm, it was all compounding. Day 6 I weighed myself again. 1.4 kilograms down from day 1. In 6 days. Without changing anything about my diet after breakfast. Without adding any extra exercise beyond the morning walk. The routine was doing the work in the first hour of my day and my body was carrying that metabolic state forward. Day 7 I did the full routine and then sat down and wrote out everything I had noticed across the week because I wanted to have an honest account of it before I recorded this video. 1.8 kilograms total by the final morning weigh-in. Bloating significantly reduced. Energy stable and consistent throughout the day every day that I completed the full routine. Sleep deeper and easier. Morning mood better before I had even spoken to another person. And a level of clarity and focus in the first half of the day that I had not experienced in years. Now let me give you the science behind why each part of this works because I think you deserve to understand the mechanism not just the outcome. The warm water activates aquaporins, the protein channels in your cells that regulate water transport. Hydrating immediately after waking flushes cellular waste that accumulated during sleep, activates kidney function, and jumpstarts the entire digestive system before food arrives. Warm temperature specifically increases the effectiveness of this process because it matches your body's internal temperature and does not require energy to regulate the way cold water does. The morning stretching works through the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the main communication highway between your brain and your gut and your organs. Slow stretching stimulates vagal tone, which reduces cortisol, activates the parasympathetic rest and digest system, and sets your nervous system into a calm, functional state rather than a reactive one. A body in a calm nervous system state burns fat more efficiently because it is not holding on to resources in anticipation of stress. The fasted morning walk works through a mechanism called AMPK activation. AMPK is an enzyme that is activated by low glycogen and low insulin, exactly the conditions your body is in after an overnight fast. When AMPK is activated, it directly stimulates fat oxidation, improves insulin sensitivity, and increases mitochondrial efficiency. You do not need to run. You do not need to sweat. A 20-minute walk in a fasted state activates this enzyme just as effectively as more intense exercise for the purpose of fat metabolism. The clean breakfast works through glycemic indexing. Foods with a low glycemic index release glucose slowly into the bloodstream. Slow glucose release means slow, small insulin release. Small insulin means your body stays in a mild fat-burning state through the morning. A high-sugar breakfast causes a large, fast insulin spike which immediately switches your body from burning fat to storing it, and that switch stays on for hours after the meal. Here is what I am taking away from these 7 days and what I think you should take away from this video. The Japanese morning routine is not a hack. It is not a trend. It is a set of biological principles that have been embedded into a cultural habit for centuries. And the health data of an entire nation is the long-term study result. The warm water, the stretching, the walk, the light breakfast, the no heavy sugar, none of these things are complicated. None of them require money. None of them require equipment. They require about 60 minutes of your morning and a willingness to do them in the right order before anything else takes priority. The order matters. Water before screens. Movement before food. Sunlight before sitting. A stable breakfast before anything demanding. If you want to try this starting tomorrow, the only thing I ask is that you do the full routine, all 5 parts, in order, for at least 5 consecutive days before you judge it. 1 or 2 days is not enough to feel the compounding effect. By day 3 your body will start responding in ways you can feel. By day 5 you will not want to stop. If this video gave you something real today, share it with someone who is stuck in a morning routine that is not serving them. And if you want to see the exact meal breakdown I used for every breakfast across these 7 days, the full portions, the preparation, the green tea guide, that video is right here. I will see you there.